the meat of the matter, public hearings. My first night as chair. I'm going to make a couple of moves real quick. Hopefully I won't step on too many toes. Item C, the general plan interim zoning, I believe is we've decided has been generally taken care of outside of these chambers, and so I'm going to push it up to it right now. It's going to free up some space in the room, and I'm going to make a suggestion. There is some seating downstairs with some couches, and the TV is on, hopefully tuned to this meeting, and you're welcome to go down there and relax if you're here for a later item. So Charlie's going to take this one on, if it's okay with the commission, and then we're going to move on to item A.
And I have to recuse myself on this because it pertains to property that's within 300 feet of where I live, so I'm going to
Okay,
step
thanks,
down.
Gil. You have to leave the room? No. Okay.
She can speak as a citizen. All right, this matter is general plan and interim zoning amendments regarding the Doyle Hollis North Area, as we're calling it. So I'm sure the Commission recalls about 5 years, after 5 years of intense community effort, last October a new general plan was adopted by the City Council. This plan calls for 2 new large parks along Hollis Street, both north and south of Powell, as well as a number of smaller parks throughout the city. The large park north of Powell would be north of the existing Doyle Hollis Park. It would be bounded by 62nd, Hollis, 64th, and Doyle Streets. Those 2 blocks are being referred to here as the Doyle Hollis North Area. They are designated for park open space on the general plan land use diagram and 0.5 no bonus on the maximum floor area ratio or FAR map. Under the interim zoning regulations that were also adopted when the general plan was adopted, there are very few uses that are permitted in the what's called the POS, the Park Open Space Zone. However, there is a policy in the general plan that says that existing uses on those 2 blocks shall remain as conforming uses until such time as these sites are acquired by or dedicated to the city. So any existing use that's there can remain and is not non-conforming. This past March, the property owners on those 2 blocks sued the city, claiming that the park designation reduced their property values and harmed their businesses. To try to settle this lawsuit, staff and the plaintiffs have been developing a compromise over the last several months, and that is the subject of this general plan and interim zoning regulation amendment. The plaintiffs requested that the area be returned to the zoning and FAR designations that existed prior to adoption of the new general plan, which was IL light industrial for the zoning and an FAR of 1.0. However, the IL light industrial zoning district does not exist anymore, and so we looked at the new zoning designations to see what was the closest to the IL zone. We determined that the office technology zone is the closest match. And with some further modifications to the list of permitted, conditionally permitted, and prohibited uses, we could make the OT zone an even closer match to the old IL zoning district. So that is what's being proposed. And a new floor area ratio district, which is 1.0 no bonus, would be created for these 2 blocks to match the old FAR that used to be there. So in summary, the general plan amendment would be to modify the land use diagram to designate these 2 blocks from park open space to office technology Doyle Hollis North Area. On the floor area ratio map to redesignate these 2 blocks from 0.5 no bonus to 1.0 no bonus. I would just like to note that these 2 blocks are still designated for future park use in the Parks, Open Space, and Public Services map of the general plan. And this future park designation and the current OT designation will be reflected on the land use map with alternating pink and green stripes. The pink is the OT color and the green is the park and open space color. So what that looks like is this. This is the general plan land use diagram, and the 2 blocks in question are right, where are they?
Going north.
Right here?
Here you go.
Boy, it doesn't show up on the screen here. I don't know, maybe you can see it better on your screen. And then the new, it's listed over here in the index, so it's right here, these 2 blocks. And then on the legend, the new zoning district or the new land use district is listed here. So to help us see it a little better, we can zoom in here. It still doesn't show up too well on this projector, but anyway, you can see the alternating pink and green stripes. that represent the OT and park open space. So this is the new Office Technology-Doyle Hollis North Area District. Similarly, on the floor area ratio map, it's these two blocks right here. What we've done is to introduce a new FAR district between 0.5 no bonus and 1.2, 1.6. It's 1.0 no bonus. And it's the same color as the 0.5 no bonus, but it's got a stippling pattern on it to differentiate it. So if you zoom in a little bit for a closer look, it looks like that. The interim zoning regulation amendment would be to add a new column in the table of uses that are permitted, conditionally permitted, and prohibited. The new column would be for the OT Doyle Hollis North Area District. We would also amend the section that is about special regulations in the OT zone, and that section will describe the Doyle Hollis North Area, including the list of uses that are modified in terms of what's permitted, conditionally permitted, and prohibited. It would stipulate that the OT restriction on retail and light wholesaling and distribution as secondary uses does not apply in the Doyle Hollis North area. So retail or light wholesaling and distribution could be in the OT Doyle Hollis North District as a primary use, as a principal use. And it would also add the 1.0 no bonus designation to the list of the FAR districts. This is an excerpt from the table in the interim zoning regulations of uses and that are permitted, conditionally permitted, and prohibited in the various zoning districts. This is the existing OT column here, and we would add a note to it that says except Doyle Hollis North Area. And then this is the new column, and everything here is underlined in blue to indicate that it's new. This is the Office Technology Doyle Hollis North Area column. There's about 73, I think, different uses that are on this table. This is just an excerpt. This is just a piece of that bigger table. Of those 73 uses, 11 are proposed to be changed between the OT and the Doyle Hollis North. The remainder would be regulated the same between the two. This is just an example of some of those that would be changed to more closely match the IL district. Convalescent services, for example, are conditionally permitted in OT. They would be prohibited in Doyle Hollis North. Conversely, equipment repair and sales are prohibited in the OT. They would be conditionally permitted in the Doyle Hollis North. And then there's 9 other areas where there is a modification. So our recommendation is that after you hold the public hearing, you approve the resolution that you have before you to recommend that the City Council amend the general plan land use diagram to redesignate these 2 blocks to Office Technology Doyle Hollis North Area, amend the general plan FAR map to redesignate these 2 blocks to the 1.0 no bonus FAR category, and amend the interim zoning regulations to allow a broader range of uses in this area consistent with the OT Office Technology zoning district, obviously with all of the further details that I've summarized and that are described in the staff report and contained in the resolution. So that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to respond to any questions you may
Thank you,
have.
Charlie. Charlie's doubling as the staff and the applicant. So does anybody have a question for the applicant? Here, seeing none, we will open the public hearing. Does anybody would like to speak on this item? 3 minutes. Thank you. Just state your name and then please sign in before you leave.
Hi, my name is Lauren Westreich, and I'm one of the plaintiffs speaking to you this evening on behalf of the property and businesses business owners that were affected by the implementation of the new general plan and interim zoning regulations. There's a couple other people here as well. I just point out there's Patty over there and John and Bob. There's a few other people as well. I want to thank the city staff and the city attorney for their hard work and their willingness to work with us to reach an amenable resolution to all of us. And we were, as you guys may know, I know the city staff knows that we were very concerned about the designation of our property as park use open space, and concerned that we be allowed to continue to use our properties in a productive manner. So I also urge you to approve the resolution recommending that the city council change the zoning and the general plan accordingly.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Anybody else like to speak on this matter? Oh, please sign in if you get a chance.
Lauren?
You have somebody with another mic. Anybody else like to speak on this matter? Seeing none. Oh.
My name is Brian Donahue. I'm a resident. I think what I don't exactly, I don't have a bachelor's degree, so no master's degree here, so I don't even understand exactly what Charlie is proposing here. I don't know if this is going to preclude a park or not. He says not, so I guess I'll have to take him at his word. But the problem I have is this is cheapening our new general plan. This is a $2 million project. Spent 5 years doing this thing. 27 citizen volunteers put this thing together, and this is really cheapening and degrading our new plan. It's basically making it so it's not really worth the paper it's printed on. I think what we should do here, if these businesses think that there's a government taking going on, well, let them present the evidence, and if there is, well, then we should pay them. The people want a park in this location, and that's what they've said, and that's what the 5 years of work was. And so to have a park, if the owners don't want to sell, well, we have to take it by eminent domain. That's why you do it. And it's as a matter of fact, that's done very commonly in Emeryville the other way around, private to private eminent domain taking. This is a private to public. It's done all over the country, very common. I think we should just support our general plan. And we should, if they have a legitimate claim for a taking, well, we should pay them and move forward to put a park in this location. And that's what general plans are for. They're planning documents. So we want a park here, and we should support this plan. And then, like I said, pay any legitimate claims, because that's how you get a park when people who own the property don't want to sell. That's what you have to do. You have to pay money. So that's what we should do.
Thank you. Anybody else here to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back to the commission. Any comments?
I think it's a great, staff has done a great job of creating a solution for this. So I would move approval of this.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have Art seconding. Anybody else? Any comments? Call the roll.
Commissioner Donaldson is recused. Commissioner Coomerly?
Aye.
Commissioner Hoff? Commissioner Sherman?
Aye.
Commissioner Steinberg?
Aye.
Vice Chair Cardoza?
Aye.
Chair Flores?
Yes.
6 ayes, the motion is approved. We will forward this to the City Council with your recommendation that it be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and speaking.